that had I never attended one of these conferences, I wouldn't have that resource, and I would just be stuck there sitting in my freaking dirty old pee pants.
Yep.
For those of you who know Ricky Bobby, sorry. I just assumed my nose. I didn't pee my pants.
The chicks are back. We have Tara Rego with us again.
We practiced this, I promise.
Rego with Rego.
All right, there we go. We have Tara Rego with us, and she is with Spectrum Reach, and she just got done with a session effectively reaching women in the automotive market. Tara, tell everybody who you are in the automotive industry, what solutions you bring to the automotive industry, and a little about the session that you spoke on today.
Okay, well, I'm Tara. That's a lot. I'm trying to remember it all.
Okay.
I'm Tara Rego. I'm with Spectrum Reach, which is the advertising arm of Charter Communications.
Okay.
And what I do is I am the automotive director of sales and strategy. And what we bring is, well, I guess the best way to really position what our company is, we're a connectivity company.
Okay.
We are the ISP. We are the cable company. So we have a lot of data. And we take that data and we put it together and we formulate it in ways that you can reach audiences across all platforms and all screens.
I love that. I love that. So a little birdie told me that you started in the military before automotive.
Yes.
And not just in the military, but you were a sergeant in the military.
I was.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and how you think that helped you in your automotive career.
Well, the first thing I'll say is the Army probably was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I was definitely a troublemaker as a teenager.
Me too.
So it really gave me a lot of direction and it made me strong, right? And when I say strong, I'm not talking about physically strong. That came with it. What I mean is the strength I was able to get by understanding mental toughness, that you can continue to push yourself further if you just believe you can do it. Your body quits a lot before you, your mind quits on you. You just have to really, really focus on that strength that you have. And the military gave that to me.
I love that. That is so awesome. What rank were you in the military?
E5 sergeant.
Awesome. Wow. That is amazing. Well, thank you so much for your service.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, it was my pleasure. You are worth it.
That is so awesome. I love that.
How did you transition from the military to what you do now?
Yeah.
I didn't go directly to what I do now.
So what was in between?
So I got out of the military and I was finishing college. While I was finishing college, I actually was a cocktail waitress at a very popular nightclub in Seattle.
Okay, nice.
And I think I've told this story before. But anyways, so I was a cocktail waitress at this nightclub in Seattle. And I just graduated and I still didn't know what I wanted to be. And this group of guys came in. They're wearing kind of cheap suits. They spent a lot of money. I upsold them like crazy on everything. And one guy got stuck with the bill at the end of the night and he was shaking his head and he looked really, really like upset. And I was like, is everything okay? Is there something wrong with your bill? He's like, no, if I had one salesperson that is as good as you were tonight, he's like, I wouldn't be sweating this bill.
Oh, I love that.
And I said, well, what do you do? And he was a general manager of a car dealership.
Okay.
I said, well, I'm looking for a job. And I went and applied the next day, started selling cars. And then I was on the dealership side for over 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
At the same store? Did you?
No.
Okay.
No. No, I moved around a little bit. I started as, a salesperson. I did F&I. I was sales manager, BDC manager, general sales manager.
You were all over the stores.
Yes,
Everything except for in service. I never did service, which my son ended up being a service manager.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So which was your favorite part of working in the dealership? Which would you say was your favorite position?
My favorite position? I loved selling cars. I loved dealing with people, working with people, helping them get what they wanted. I loved selling cars. Outside of selling cars, I really enjoyed the aspect that I had when I was a leader to train those to do the same as what I had done. And that was something I really enjoyed, training people to be better sellers and to be better listeners, because it wasn't really ever about selling. It was always about listening.
So your session today was reaching women in the automotive market. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So there's a disparity everybody has known for the longest time in the automotive world. Women are the ones that typically make the decision, right? They're
Yep.
the typical ones that are doing it. And everybody knows it. You know, when I sold cars, we'd sell a car to the husband. He said, well, I got to get my wife now. And she has a checkbook. And this has been well known. Yet we don't target women in our advertising. Yep. We don't look to see where we can reach them and what we should be saying to them. And we've heard here a few different stats. 80% of all car purchases are influenced by women.
Yep.
62% of the decisions are made by women.
Yep.
So all of that is telling us we should be speaking to them. We should have better creative that speaks to them. We talked today about EVs. They're stacking up everywhere right now. They're not selling.
Right.
The one and number two problem for the EVs is infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
People are worried about infrastructure. People are worried about safety because it's all the tech in these vehicles, yep. Right? And if women are making those decisions and women are worried about infrastructure and women are concerned about the safety of the vehicle, we should be speaking to women and answering right. those questions in the advertising. And I'm sure EVs would adopt a lot faster if we're saying the right things to the right people.
Yeah, right. Well, and women are going to go with what is already proven as safe. You know, we historically will make the decisions based on with a vehicle with what's safest for our kids, what's most reliable for us, financially stable, and EVs, if I'm being honest, don't cross most of those boxes. We just don't have enough history to show you.
We don't have enough history, and nobody's talking about what those things are. Right. They're not showing the safety features. I mean, I know I've heard some people like the Tesla, they're like, it doesn't have a key. What if I lose my phone or if I don't have the card? And they have a lot of concerns and nobody's answering those questions for them.
Right.
And in my session today, I showed a few commercial ads that we had made for dealers where we really put women at the focus of it, but not so in your face. It's not that it has to be about women and show women doing all these things. We had women in the commercial. We had women in positions that they were like in a boardroom. We had children, but the children were with the father, right? So we have those things, and we have women saying the things they were looking for in a vehicle. But it's just saying the right things to the right people. It's so important. We don't see it enough. I think we need to push it more. We see so many of the advertisements for car dealers. They're literally yelling at us, you know, come down and get this deal right now. And it's very aggressive and just spouting stuff at us. And that isn't appealing to most people, especially women. That's not going to get us to respond.
Right. Well, there was I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, I want to say it was a GMC ad for a Sierra. And it was like a husband and wife buying each other a Christmas present. And the wife bought the husband a new truck, a Sierra, and the husband bought the wife a new puppy. I'm like, I would be way more excited than my husband to get a Sierra. Like, let's be honest here. And it's like, you know, even with all the strides that we feel like we've made, we have amazing conferences like this where we have such support across the industry. And it's like, gosh dang it, we still just have that much further to go.
We're still just not following the data. And so we talked about that a lot today. It's about following the data. We might not like what it says. I brought that up. We are doing a lot of using our own first party data. And then we have over 70 data partners that we work with as well. And then we're taking now what we call customer data match. We're taking your data in a privacy compliant way, taking and de-anonymizing that data because, you know, we don't want anyone getting into any trouble with PII or anything like that. But we can then follow that data to see exactly how people are consuming content, where they're consuming content, and when, right? So we had this pilot that we did with a dealer on a campaign. And when we matched up their first party data to our first party data, we found that the number one network was Nickelodeon, which made everyone really, really nervous, including us. The people saying, follow the data. We're like, oh, is it broken? Nickelodeon, that's kids watching it. That's not going to reach the right audience. And we all got very nervous. And I said, wait a minute, slow down. It says Nickelodeon Monday through Friday, and that's from 6p to 11p. What's on Nickelodeon then? Either of you know?
Nick at Night.
But what specifically is on?
Nowadays, no, I have no idea.
I don't know.
It used to be like Fresh
George
Prince.
Lopez and Fresh Prince.
It's Friends.
Oh,
okay.
Of course it is.
That makes sense.
It's Friends.
I should have known.
I would have guessed that would be on TBS.
So
I knew it was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, so it's Friends, right? So
Everybody loves Friends.
everybody loves it. And we're like, oh my goodness, we weren't trusting our own data for half a second there. No, you trust the data. And if you're looking to reach women and you know that they're the ones making the decision, trust the data. Take the available data you have, build campaigns, and make your creative speak to them as well, because the data tells you how they're performing, what they like, what they don't like. With all that information, why wouldn't we just follow it?
I love that. So
That's-
Tara, go ahead.
No, I was saying that's just like, that's mind blowing that, you know, I would have had the initial reaction like, rerun the numbers. There's no way it's Nickelodeon. Kids aren't watching this shit.
Well, that's where everyone was kind of getting to, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, no, this can't be right. No. It showed us other things. Like one of the things we saw is they really liked soccer. Now, this was a Tampa
Weird.
dealership.
Okay.
Huge Hispanic population in
Mhm.
soccer. Or in Tampa, they love soccer.
Yep.
And so we saw that they really love soccer, and they didn't care what language it was in. It could be in any language on any network, wherever soccer was, they were watching it. Well, how informative is that?
Right.
Now, you know, maybe you've taken your kids to the soccer game or something in your creative. And oh, by the way, to get into soccer with a commercial, they're not super expensive. We're not talking Monday Night Football prices here, right?
That's
Or even
awesome.
Super Bowl.
So
Yeah.
Tara, we are wrapping up the first day, the
Yes.
full first day of the conference.
Yes.
And I know that you had a wonderful session, but what has been your biggest takeaway today?
I had a few.
Okay.
Subi Gosh from
Oh.
Stream was our keynote
If you
speaker.
guys were not here at the conference
Yeah.
and you have a chance to catch Subi's keynote on recording, I think that maybe Robin has it. I know there's a few other people.
It's
that
on
definitely
the Women in
recorded.
Automotive Facebook page.
It's on the Women in Automotive
Mhm.
Facebook page. Oh my God, it was a tearjerker.
Amazing.
It was a tearjerker.
I think she had everybody in that room crying.
She did.
Yeah,
She did.
And the reuniting of the founders was amazing, and it was heartwarming. And for those that know Subi's story, it made my heart so happy to see her here on stage and Veronica handing out the awards,
Yes.
and just the appreciation and the love and the camaraderie that is on the board. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, she said I took some notes, and I'm trying to remember it exactly. That's why you take notes, so you don't have to remember.
There's
But one
so
of the things
much.
she's, I think is, I forget the first word. It's really an important word, but then she said the tables. So your table's going to change, right?
Yep.
Well, when you get a seat at one table and then you move up,
New rule, new table.
yeah, new rules,
New table, new rules.
yeah, new table, new
Mhm.
rules. And I really took that to heart. I thought that made a lot of sense.
Yep.
New role, new table.
Yes, that was what it was.
So you get a new role, there's a new table that you have to sit at, and you have to understand the rules of that table and how to work within it and understand it, and then bring the seat up for the person that you left behind.
Absolutely.
Right. I
I
loved
love that.
I loved it. It was a great session. It was a tearjerker, and it was a great way to start today.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's these conferences are so important for the sole purpose of, if we're going to continue to grow women in automotive and keep them working in the industry, because the retention level with women in this business is so low. These conferences are so extremely important, because the number one key that I would say to my success, or what has brought me this far, has been my network.
Yeah.
And somebody said it earlier. I can't even remember who said what at this point, because I've heard so many people talk. Your network is your network, or your network. I don't know. It's backwards.
Yeah.
Your net worth is your network.
Yeah.
And that's the absolute truth. There's been times where, God dang it, Bobby here, and I've got her on speed dial, because there's times where I do a pickle and I'm like, gosh dang it,
Yep.
the only person I can think of in the world that
Is
would know
Bobby.
the answer to this is Bobby. Or, there's so many things where you just call somebody that, had I never attended one of these conferences, I wouldn't have that resource, and I would just be stuck there sitting in my freaking dirty old pee pants.
Yep.
For those of you who know Ricky Bobby, sorry. I just assumed everyone knows. I didn't pee my pants. This is why we're live. We've missed this banter back
We-
here.
We've missed
yes.
this. We've missed that. No, I think it's fantastic. What I love most about coming to Women on Automotive is we are really helping women level up, right?
Absolutely.
We're bringing ourselves together. We're networking. We're letting us all know you're not alone. You
Yeah.
can reach out, and we are bringing up everybody with us. We're helping everyone level up. And I think that is so important. It's a very different kind of conference. So many of these is all about selling and getting to know, people to sell. Vendors wanting to talk to dealers looking to buy something.
I don't feel that here.
This,
No,
this
I'm
is
not
not,
at all.
this
I'm
is
not
not
a
that.
dealer, but I can feel it at other conferences where I'm like, it's all
Yeah.
vendory. I don't even care here who's vendor
No.
and who's not. Because
No, it doesn't
no
matter.
matter what, we are all women in the automotive industry.
Yes.
And it's not women in the dealership. It's not women vendors. It's we're all one.
Right.
And this is like the strongest sisterhood. Like everyone here, they may be a complete stranger.
They're crying
automatically
together.
family.
They're crying
together.
They're crying together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's amazing to witness.
The amount of connection that people are
Yes.
feeling, it's an amazing thing.
It is.
There is no other conference, whether it's going on this week, next month, whenever, that has this kind of connection.
No.
I agree 100%. And, you know, for me, with working with my company, I go to a lot of conferences and we present, and we're always looking to network, but it's a different kind of network. It's a network about, you know, making money, getting business. This is about making money, but through connection, not through, hey, you're going to be my customer and I'm going to be, you know, your client. That's not what this is about. This is about building friendships, building networking.
Yeah.
And what I love is we're all giving our information to one another. And I will bet you money, so many people are going to call the people they've connected with and say, can you help me with this?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Once I figure out how to use this thing, I'm gonna be going ham on it. I've been wearing this for about 4 hours now. I haven't tapped it once. I don't know how. Someone's gonna have to teach me. But once I figure it out, y'all are in trouble.
Well,
I'm coming for you.
I think the guy, he was giving lessons. He's
Yeah,
here.
I gotta find
He's
it.
here.
There he is. I see him in the mirror.
You need to get your lesson.
I'm gonna go get my lessons on my little wrist thingy. I don't know what it's called, but
Tara, if you could give one piece of advice to any up and coming male or female in the industry, what would it be?
Trust yourself. You know who you are and you know what you bring and you know your value. And if you don't, start thinking about yourself more and discover your value, but always trust yourself and trust your voice, and don't let anyone tell you you're wrong. You might be wrong and you can learn from that, but
Fail forward.
fail forward. Yeah.
what's crazy is we try to ask that on as many shows as possible. And gentleman we interviewed earlier gave the answer, trust your instincts. And it was the first time we'd ever heard that answer. And then you do it right after. Yes. There's a weird vibe going on in the air today. You guys got to feel it.
Yeah. No, I think anytime that I've doubted myself, it was setting myself up to fail when I doubted myself. It's only when you truly believe that you can do something that you find success.
One of the most important things I've learned here today is, and I've probably heard it in the past, but it hit hard so much today, was how many women in this business, and I freaking never hear it from men, but how many women in this business still to this day may have a CEO, VP title, something huge high up, and I still have imposter syndrome.
Yes.
That feel like they don't belong, or I don't know how the heck I got here, or I don't feel like I deserve the role I'm in. Like all of us.
I think, insecurity creeps into your head.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone struggles with it. I think women struggle with it more because we tend to be pleasers and we're always wanting to make sure we're making everyone happy. I think what I continue to learn as I get older, you're never going to make everyone happy. And if you can't please yourself first, it doesn't really matter.
I think that if you just stay true to you, and I'm going to quote what Bobby said earlier, just be a damn good effing human.
Yeah.
It all works out for the best every time.
Every time.
Tara, where can people connect with you at?
Well, they can definitely check out my LinkedIn page.
Okay. Tara Rego.
Tara Rego. Yeah. Tara Rego. And where else? Oh, probably Facebook. I don't really look at it. I just track my mom on Facebook.
Hi, DeMarco. DeMarco's watching us live, Robs.
All right, Tara. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you coming on the show with us. I know this conference is busy and there's a lot of people to see and sessions to get into, but we really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to sit with us.
Oh, thank you for asking. It was a joy. Thank you.
All right, guys, without further ado, I will go ahead and wrap it up and hope that I don't mess it up again this time. In a world where you can be anything, remember to be kind because you never know what others are going through. So whenever you go out into the world this week, remember to light it up. I'm Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And this is Tara. And we've been the Chicks in Charge. Thanks for watching.
Yay, you've made it this far. And if you want to help the chicks out and add some value, make sure you subscribe right now.
Click that little red button down below. Do it. Do it now.